great day, beautiful people, and welcome to the Now, where we navigate our opportunities to win. I am your host, Dr. Davina Jones. I am so excited to introduce our special guest today, and I know that you're going to be excited to get to know her as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest today is Honiebee. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for coming on to the show.
Oh, it is my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So behind the scenes, I have the pleasure of also doing some special work with you. So I get a chance to really kind of bring you to the camera on my show. You've allowed me to be on your show.
Yes.
We get a chance to work together from time to time. So you own Honeybee's Bakery.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
And you wrote a book, which I just read. And so I know we can talk about the bakery, and I am going to do that. But I also desire to talk about this book because I read it and it really just spoke to my soul as a woman. And as a woman, any entrepreneur can really get something out of this book. But you wrote it so uniquely from your heart, from woman to woman.
Right.
So tell us the title of the book, and then I got to ask you how you came up with that title.
Okay. The title of the book is SheEO, Elevate and Execute.
So not CEO.
No, not CEO.
But SheEO.
That's us.
That is us. See, even the way you say it, I just love your energy around it. How did you come up with the name of this book? Were you in the grocery store? Were you, walking, just woke up one day? How'd you come up with this title?
Well, when I thought about writing an ebook, I really wanted to focus on women, and my heart is truly for women. So I thought about CEO, because when I hear CEO, I think a man in power. I think the owner of a business or the captain of a ship, the ship meaning the business. And I thought, well, what about she? Because she is me. So I thought SheEO would be great. SheEO sounds good to me. And I had to think it over a little bit, get some advice. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with SheEO. And then I thought about elevate and execute, because that's what I want other women to do. And that is my mantra. So I want to always elevate and always execute what it is that I'm trying to do.
I love that so much. I feel like you're going to load us up in the next few minutes with some one-liners. You said she is me. All right. So that's one for us to take away right there off the top. You also talked about how you said you, but I know many of us feel that way. Certain names, the title CEO, so many things that we refer to in life, they come with these connotations because we've been groomed that way. It's almost like when you look at the picture of presidents in the United States. They're all men.
Yep.
Right? You mean to tell me there's no woman that's smart enough to, sit in that role?
Right.
But you're absolutely right. We've been so conditioned to look at certain roles and titles from a masculine standpoint. And you're bringing this to women to say, hey, she is me. And just the way you coined that title. Now, listen. In the book, you talk so passionately about, you go from just this heartfelt passion of what it means to be a leader and a woman in leadership. And then you give us these practical tips, like what made you create that kind of balance in this book?
Well, I thought about where I was when I started. So when I started baking years ago with my sister. I didn't know anything about baking. I didn't know anything about owning a business. And then I ventured out on my own. And when I was able to do things on my own, I found that I had a lot of roadblocks. I had a lot of times where I didn't know where to start, what to do. All I knew is that I wanted to have a business. I knew that. And I knew that I had some type of tool or some type of gift or both. And I wanted to do that. So a lot of times I didn't have any resources. Wow. I didn't have anybody to actually guide me. No one in my family was on the business ownership path. So I really didn't have someone who I really, really trusted, because sometimes we trust our family and we trust the advice that they give. But for me, during that time, I didn't have anyone who knew the things that I needed to know. So I came from the point or from the mindset of thinking of it as where I was when I first started and the tips and tools that I needed at that time to be successful. Because had I had these skills and these tools and this information, maybe I would be further than what I am today. But I don't want women to have to go through any of that. I want to provide resources and sources and tips and information to them right now. So if they're starting right now, they can read this book and get on the right path from the very beginning. They don't have to go through what I went through.
You know, I read the book because, again, you and I have the pleasure off camera to work together and do some really special good things in the same space. But when I read the book, I got so much from the book. Like, I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. Again, because it's so practical. And it's so, you made it so easy. And so, like, you have, you know, do these 5 things this week. Do these 3 things over here. And so you're really gifting. You're really gifting people. You're gifting women. Although men can get something out of this book too. So, you know, we're not going to, you know, say, you know, only women can get something out of it. But it certainly is dedicated from that intention and that passion. And you're really gifting us so that we don't have to start going through some of those same hurdles. You remind me of a famous scripture that I often use: to whom much is given, much is required. And you've been gifted to step into this and gain this information and the grace, and now you're gifting other people.
I am.
In the first chapter of the book, I don't want to give all the book content away, okay?
Right.
Y'all got to read the book. Get the book. We're going to tell you where to get the book, okay? So we're not going to give it all away. But in the first chapter, you talk about how you and your sister kind of went into business, invited you to go into business. And you got to a point where you were like, I can't do this. And your sister said,
she told me, she looked me square in my eyes and she said, you can do anything. And of course, we've heard that because I was grown. So of course I went through school and I got a mom and I have a dad. You know, I have people who, yeah, baby, you can do this and you got it.
But it was something about that moment.
My God, it was so powerful in that moment because she saw fear in me and she knew that there should be no fear. Because I had the tools, I had the tools.
I have this thing. So people that follow me, you know, on some of my other platforms, y'all know I tear up easily. Like when I'm experiencing the light and just that energy, I tear up very easily. So I'm in that moment now, okay? Because she was like, you can do anything.
Oh my God. When she told me that, I don't know if she knew how impactful it was. I know she didn't because she was just saying, hey girl, we need to make this money and you can do this. But it meant more than that. It meant like, go forth, believe in yourself. You can do it. I believe in you, you believe in you, and let's do this. And just from that alone encouraged me. I thought about it when she wasn't around. I wrote it in my book. That's how impactful it was. And that was maybe 10 years ago.
And the way you wrote it, that's how it came across, you know, because you start talking about how you all went into this adventure, and then you take us into that moment where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. And then you kind of isolate it, like you can do anything. And you tell the women reading the book. I mean, it stood out to me. Yeah. And so I think you got the point across in there.
You know, I really feel like as a woman, and I love women empowerment. I just love helping women and being around sisters. You know, I love a sisterhood. And I think that we need certain things in order to thrive. And it's just not, I mean, everybody, you know, has their thing, but as a woman, I speak to us as women. I have, you know, parts in that book that men may not need nurturing. They may not need anybody to motivate them in the way that we do. But as a woman, we need that. We have sensitive spots in us that if you speak to that sensitive spot, it ignites something in us and helps us to move forward and gives us that extra motivation to say, you know what? I may not have all the tools, all the money, everything I need, but I have something. I have me. I have faith.
And you do it without apology. You know, it's like, I remember reading, years ago, I read this article about women in management. And it talked about how women in management are always apologizing. And so when we need something, and we're the boss, right? And we say, so-and-so, will you do this? We ask, so-and-so, you would do this for me? Thank you. So-and-so, will you do this for me? Thank you. So our male counterparts, they don't ask and say thank you. They say, hey, we need to da-da-da-da-da.
And walk away.
And walk away. So you're absolutely right. We need a certain type of conversation because we've been programmed. Even if we go back to that metaphor that I gave earlier, all of our presidents here in this country, male.
Yep.
That's not like a coincidence. That's because of the conditioning. And so you're really helping women to move past all of these conditions in our minds. Now, the other thing, again, I can't give away all the book stuff, okay? We can't give it all away. But I think this part, I know that you shared before. The way you and your sister went into this was not because you had been baking treats your whole life.
No.
You know, so give us that
about that. Yeah. So I have found that sometimes we don't know what it is that's in us. We don't know. And I think that God, I mean, it's just He allows things to happen so that our gift comes to light. And I didn't know that I was a baker at all. My sister wanted to have this cupcake company. She thought it was just great. She was the mind, the brain. She was in everything. She just said, hey, could you help? So I became the baker. I don't know how I became the baker, but I did. She was the mastermind, though. She was the one, the forefront, the one with the knowledge to get the website and the location. I mean, she did it all. All I did was bake, and I was just like, well, I'm just the baker. I'll just bake some cupcakes, because we started with cupcakes. So after doing that, though, it made me know that, wait a minute, I can bake. I can do that. I mean, I was cooking because I had a family, and I knew that I knew how to do that, but I didn't know that I would be in this position right now. And over time, we evolve. So, like I said, we have gifts. Everybody has a gift. Whether I have 5 and you have 2, it doesn't matter how many. Just, can you multiply that gift? Can you do something with the gifts that you're given?
And that certain situations will pull out of you.
Things you didn't even know that you had.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Things that you didn't even know. I talked about my grandmother. My grandmother, she always baked, which is ironic, right? I don't know.
Honiebee was Honiebee before you knew you were Honiebee.
It was. But my grandmother baked. She baked. We had prayer meeting every Wednesday. The family would go over. We would have prayer meeting. My grandmother made sure that she baked bread pudding. Every Wednesday, we gonna have some bread pudding, or we're gonna have some sweet bread every Wednesday. Wow. So I grew up, and my mom baked, but it still never transferred to me, during those times. And I said the other day that sometimes we're getting taught lessons when we don't even know that a lesson is being taught. Like, I didn't even know that my desire was to be a baker. I didn't know that. But now that I'm here, I can't think about doing anything else. I always think about the next thing and how I can elevate. And I also have my grandmother's recipe in my at my shop. So I do sell bread pudding. Oh my goodness. And I use her recipe. Wow. But you just never know the lessons that you're learning along the way, and how you can use those lessons and how they coincide with the gifts that you already have, and you can turn it into tangible.
That's amazing.
Money.
That's amazing. So your sister started the business.
Yep.
Just asked you to come and help.
Yep, help.
Just come and bake some cupcakes.
That's it.
That's it. And you had seen bakery before on Wednesdays, but you never really brought it into yourself. I mean, you're really helping people to see that so much of who we are and what's in us is right in front of us. It's right in front of us. And that these situations are coming across. The name of the show is Navigating Opportunities to Win, right? So opportunities are coming to you left and right, but you have to just step into that moment.
And
you just stepped into that moment. Didn't even know what the fullness of the moment was.
No, I didn't even know. Like right now, I know how to make decorated cakes. I graduated from just cupcakes, because at first it was just cupcakes. Then it was cupcakes and small treats. And then it was like whole cakes, just cakes, not really like decorated cakes, but just cakes. And then another friend of mine said, hey, the money is in the decorated cakes. The money is in the wedding cakes.
Don't give all the book stuff away now.
Yeah, so
y'all got to still get the book.
Yeah, you got to get the book, but you just never know the elevation. So you may think right now you're just making T-shirts, but
it can evolve.
It definitely can evolve, and we're always evolving. We're women. We always evolve. Every year you're doing something different. You don't wear your hair the same. You don't wear the same clothes.
Yeah,
you're always evolving with time, and you keep up with what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's the same way in business. You should be doing the same thing.
You're also teaching us. You're also teaching us that because in the book, again, we're not giving it all away, but in the book, you talk about how you went to learn how to do those cakes, you know, and create your special experience with them for the customer.
Right.
And so we may start off in one dimension, as you said, evolve, and it's okay to invest in yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So you took time to invest in yourself. You didn't wait for somebody else to come and do it. You took the time to do that for yourself.
That's why it's so important to, if you're going to do business, if you're going to start a business, or if you're in business, make sure it's something that you like doing. Don't choose something that you like, well, I do it, but I really don't like it because I don't like the way this is, or I don't like the way that is. Choose something that you like, because I guarantee you, if you choose something that you enjoy doing, it doesn't feel like work, and you can be creative. That's where your creativity comes from. So if you're in business doing whatever it is, make sure it's something that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy it, you won't be able to be creative. Your mind won't expand to, you know, more possibility. You don't have to stay in this small lane.
One cupcake.
Right. It can go into a 5-lane thing just because you're creative, and then you think of ideas, and you're investing in yourself by watching videos, attending class, furthering your education, whatever it is. You're going to want to invest in that thing that you love.
Wow.
So
I have so much gratitude in the moment, because you were graced to be able to see an opportunity. You were graced with a yes.
Yes.
Your sister said, come and help. You said yes. And then you were graced to step into it. You heard her when she said you can do anything. You know, and I really do. I think you can go out and do something, you know. You seem like you seem like the type of entrepreneur. You could just start making shoes right now, cakes and shoes, because you just seem to have that. So you know, you go through this experience and this process, and then you come into this give back, this give more. And so you've now written this book that tells some of the story, encourages people that they can do anything. Your gift is right in front of you. You might not have seen it yet.
Right.
So don't run from all these situations, because they're pulling something out of you that you didn't know were there. Okay, so now we set that up. Now what you got to do is you got to tell us where we can get this book, because we didn't tell you everything that was in there. Nope. I promise you. I've read this book. We did not tell you everything that's in there. She has got you in such a good place with this book. So you got to tell us where to get it from now.
All right. My book is available at www.SheEOElevate.com. That is SheEOElevate.com.
We got it in there. We got it in there.
We got it in there.
We got it in there. Y'all have got to go and get the book so that you can be encouraged and be inspired from what you've heard, the heart and soul that Honiebee has put into this, to be able to not just do something for yourself and just say, okay, I did mine, you got to do yours, but to come and invite other people into a journey that will help you to navigate your opportunities opportunities to win. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad I had this chance to sit down with
Thank you.
I look forward to doing some more work with you as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go out and get the book. This has been just a wonderful presentation of, again, the Now, navigating our opportunities to win. I am your host, Dr. Davina Jones. You can get more information about other services and projects at www.drjonesnow.com. drjonesnow.com. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. God bless you and God be you.